Hello everyone, this is Nagi's Little Cloud and welcome back to my channel. Today it's gonna be a special video because I'm kind of gonna talk about my journey with books, and I'm also gonna be showing you a reading list that I have for the month of December. Not gonna lie, I started this a month ago, but so far I've only read one book. I couldn't do more. But yeah, let's see what I can do before January the 1st comes. And I just want to add that the reason that you're going to see me with my hair pulled back on my right side every single time is because I once filmed a video and you could literally hear the brushing of my hair against the microphone, and the audio sucked. It damaged the audio quality so much that now I have to keep it as a note to myself to put my hair back so it won't destroy the audio. So now let's get started with the books. First, I want to say that let's say when I was a kid, I used to be a fast reader. I would read a lot. I would read books fast as well. I would finish, let's say, the Percy Jackson series. How many books are there? 6 or 7, I believe. I finished the whole series in a week. I was literally reading like a maniac. It's also the reason why I have glasses, actually. Genetics and of course all of that, but I think I gave myself like a early damage because starting from 4th grade, I would literally take a book and pull it like this. It would be right here. And it became so bad that this habit alone damaged my eyes in less than a year. So yeah, read properly, kids. Don't bring your book right here. Read properly. Keep a safe distance. But yeah, I am nearsighted because of it now, but it's fine because my prescription stopped growing around the age of 19, so I don't worry about my vision that much either. But I'm blind. I literally can't see any further than this. But whatever. And then, of course, because high school, it got harder. I had to put more effort into studying. I also had more classes. I couldn't read as much as I used to. I believe in 11th and 12th grade is when I started reading more. Somehow I just made the time for it. And you know how book tastes change a lot? And I felt like I was in a slump. And then around 11th grade, I started reading good books again. So yeah, that worked out for me. And I still read, I would say, at a fast pace, but not like I used to in middle school. And then around the ages of 19, 20, I didn't read as much. But lo and behold, I somehow came across the book The Silent Patient, and I read it. I was like, this is the best thing ever. It literally got me out of a book slump. After that, I believe I read The Song of Achilles as well, which I know a lot of people say it's an overrated book, yada yada. I think it's very well written. I think it does make it special if you compare it to other books. I do have my own complaints about it here and there, but I wouldn't say that it's an overrated book. I think it's a beautiful book, actually. And then I started reading books more, but then not consistently. And I was kind of experimenting with genres because my favorite genres are crime, thriller, horror. I feel like those are the only 3 genres where even if there's nothing going on for like a few chapters, the suspense just keeps me reading. It keeps me going. Like, because I need to know what's going to happen next. It kills me not knowing what's going to happen next. And I think that's what pushes it. That's what pushes the excitement, the intrigue is just there. It keeps my soul alive, and that's what I need in a book. And yeah, those are my 3 favorite genres. But now, as a 24-year-old, I would say that I read a lot of slice of life as well. I know that's a genre that's used for anime mostly, but I've started using it for books as well, because I don't know, there's just something about reading stories that are about real people, the life of a real person. And I know that that a lot of people say, "Oh, but I can just gossip, or I can just watch a movie, or hear these stories from someone else." But I think that there's a beauty of showing the mundane life of a person, putting it into a book, and publishing it for thousands and maybe millions of people to read it. There's to say that there's like a lack, not enough of real stories is an understatement. I feel like we never get them in books. And I know that books should be something that make us fantasize, something that pull us out of our real life. But I don't know, there's just something so calming about them. Knowing that someone, let's say in freaking Italy or America, a state in America, or I don't know, someone in some random village in Thailand, people from different religions, backgrounds, classes, I can read their stories in books, and somehow, in one way or another, I can relate to them, even though we come from completely different continents or completely different backgrounds. But that's just me. Maybe I'm getting old, maybe, but that's just me. And lately, I have found an appreciation for slow reading, and by that, I mean it's just, taking life more easily. Trying to appreciate the moment, and I'm not trying to be like, "Oh, I'm in my zen zone," or "I meditate, I do yoga," shit like that. No. I realize that it's a problem because it has become a problem. It's been a problem for years, but I just never wanted to address it. But maybe it's because years of depression and undiagnosed ADHD, but my memory sucks. I have the worst memory ever. And until the age of 22, I was like, whatever. It's just the way it is. That's life. But at the age of 23 and 24, now I'm turning 25 in the December, actually, the 21st of December. I realized that I can't continue living like my life like this. I can't continue living my life not remembering anything. Not being able to remember the smallest of things. I don't want to remember everything. That's not the point. I just want to have some sort of a quality when it comes to memory. I can look at my books right now, and it's sad to say, but majority of them, maybe I'll remember the feeling that it gave me, or I will remember a certain passage or something, but I cannot remember almost everything that happened in the book. Again, I'm not trying here to remember everything because there's no need, and I don't think it's possible. But I can't even remember 10% of what happened in that book. And it bothered me so much, not just for books, but for movies, I don't know, I would look at pictures and I'd be like, I don't remember going out with my friends that day, or I don't remember doing this and that. And it's bothering me so much because I don't want to turn 30 and not remember absolutely nothing. So, because I just want to change my way of life, I have started doing things slowly. Sure, it takes more time, but I think also my impatience just contributed to that. Just doing things as fast as I can, trying to get rid of them as soon as possible. Let me just sit back. Okay. And yeah, what I'm trying to do with books is that I have a notebook where I literally write book reports on everything that I read. I actually want to show you guys my notebooks in another video. And I take my time with the books now. This year, I've started doing that this year. I take my time with the books. I annotate a lot more than I used to. I used to annotate back then as well, but now I annotate a lot more. I will literally not just read a paragraph twice or 3 times, but I will read a whole page multiple times, because knowing the type of person that I am, I'm probably never gonna read a book twice. I've never actually read a book twice. Yeah, so I'll reread a page or a paragraph multiple times to really first understand what I'm reading if I'm having trouble with that. And then just try to remember the story, take it into my brain and my memory, and just be in the story as much as possible. I am an imaginative person. I tend to imagine what I'm reading with every single word, and I believe it just makes what I'm reading more beautiful and meaningful as well. So yeah, I'm reading slowly. I reread the paragraphs, the pages. I annotate, and then I write everything in my book report in my notebook. And yeah, that's been helping. And honestly, I'm appreciating the process of reading books much more. I also want to add something else before I start showing you the books and the one that I have finished and another one that I've started, is that, you know, there's this sort of human greed to just consume and do what everyone else is doing, which is completely fine. I'm a basic person, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm special. I'm not like the other girls. I'm unique. No. I just want to say that there's no need to read every single book that's out there, and there's no need to read every book that you see people reading. Realistically, it's impossible to read every single book in this world. It is impossible to read everything, remember everything that you've read, and then say, oh, these are all of my favorite books. This is what I expect in a book. This is what I would recommend. I just don't see myself being that person. That's just a personal opinion of mine. Other people can do whatever they want, but this channel is not about other people. It's about me, and it's about people that think the same as me. I want to take my time. I want to read the books that I want. I don't want to fall into the peer pressure of reading whatever is popular, or reading all the classics, or reading all the most sold out books, reading the bestsellers. No. I want to enjoy my books. I want to take my time with them. I want to discuss them with my friends. I don't think I'm going to be, let's say, as active online on Goodreads or on, I don't know, Instagram or Twitter, and say, this is what I read, this is what I think about it. I'm more open to having a blog and writing extensive reports on the books that I'm reading on blog posts. And I have written some blog posts. I always link it. Literally out of all my blogs, the only one that got engagement was this blog about BLs. It was I recommended 5 BLs, my favorite ones, and yeah, that's the only one that I got engagement in. And I did put some, I think 2 book reports are on my blog right now. Yeah, 2, and they got no engagement whatsoever. I think one of them got 1 like, one, and the other one, no engagement whatsoever. But it's, you know, I'm doing it for me. Again, I don't want to do it for anyone else, just me. and the people that are willing to listen to me and are open to learning about my opinion. And in the end, after a year, I just want to go back to those blogs. I want to come back to these videos. I want to look at what I did and just remember what I posted. Remember what it is about without reading through it. That's my goal. Let's say December next year, I just want to remember every book that I read and be able to tell people what the book was about and remember at least 50 or to 70% of what the book was about. That's my goal. Not even a big reading list. I just want to be able to at least remember some things about the books, way more than whatever my brain is doing right now, at least. So yeah, that's just my opinion. So yeah, now that I'm done talking about my thoughts and opinions, let's get on with the books. So these are the books. And I just want to say that this isn't a book haul because these aren't my books. These are my friends' books. I was thinking of starting off with some of my books, but then I was like, you know what? My friends buy way more books than I do. So let's just borrow some books from them. Also, I can know what they're reading, what their likes and interests are. So I got these and I'll go one by one. Let me put it back. And the reason why I don't buy as much books as they do is because I was unemployed, barely got a job, so I couldn't buy books. And I would buy ebooks because ebooks are like $3 to $5. Buy them because they're way cheaper, read them online, and if I ever liked a book, then I would buy it. But yeah, books are getting hella expensive, and it's sad. It's sad because I want to buy books. So many people like me love books and they love reading them, they love buying them, but they're too expensive. And as much as I love what capitalism has provided for me, because there's so many options, I'm also kind of anti-capitalistic, only because I don't want the rich to get richer. I don't want to give the rich people my money. What have the rich people done for me? Absolutely nothing. Black Friday was this week, and the sale for the sale for the books sucked. It was only 20%? Absolutely not. I usually just tend to wait for book fair to come around once a year, and I splurge on that. But because these book sales, they suck ass. But let's get started. So I actually read Eileen by Samoshkev, and the book review will be posted this week, I believe. It was a crazy book. That's all I have to say about it. One second. So because these are not my books, I don't want to use a highlighter and destroy my friend's book. So I've just been using a pencil. And sticky notes while I'm reading. I tend to put sticky notes around so I can find the annotations easier because it's with a pencil, and you know how pencils are not as, hopefully you can see it, they're not as noticeable, so I did that to make it easier for myself. And yeah, I had to learn a lot from my first book review because I'm so sorry guys, but it's gonna be a 1 hour and 40 minute video. 1 hour and 40 minutes. I don't know. It was like, it was a trial, of course. Okay, it was my first book review on YouTube because I have a bunch on Instagram. By the way, if you want to watch them, I have a bunch of it on Instagram. Nagi's little cloud, as always. That's my user. But I just didn't think it through, and I read every single thing that I annotated. I read it, I analyzed it, I gave my opinion, and it's crazy. By the end, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be a long ass video, and no one's gonna watch it. But that video is gonna be there to remind me not to do it again and to learn from it, of course. So yeah, Eileen, I would recommend. Amazing book. I personally enjoyed it. It was the first time that I read a book about a self-deprecating character, and I loved it. It was so engaging. It was thrilling. It got me hooked. It had suspense to it. It made me just want to read more and more. I don't know, I just loved it, and I actually remember everything about it. Hey! Now, the second one is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, and I haven't read it all. No, this is where I'm at. I am at page 17, and I really want to finish this, but I just don't have time. But I started reading this on my way back home from work, and literally first page, and I was hooked on it. I was hooked on it. The writing is so beautiful. It is so beautiful, so astonishing that I just wanted to read more. And it's not like anything crazy or, let's say, interesting, like in Eileen, for example. Nothing big was going on, but it's written so beautifully that I could just imagine the whole scene, and I don't know, it's so beautiful. I actually watched the book. I actually watched the movie, and I haven't seen it ever since I was a kid, but I remember even the movie was beautiful, and I actually watched the Eileen as well. And it's crazy because Otessa said that she loved the movie more than she likes her own book, but I personally liked the book more than I loved the movie. But I personally liked the book more than I liked the movie. But I mean, if Otessa loved the movie, but it's also, I think the reason why she loved it was because they really let her be part of the production. So I think that's why she enjoyed it a lot. But yeah. Oh yeah, and this is my friend's bookmark, not mine. The sweet thing about borrowing books from friends is that if they have already read any of the books, you will see their annotations, and you will see random bookmarks that they just left, signifying exactly where they stopped. And it's like you're looking at them from the future and just tracing their footsteps and looking at what they did. And I don't know, it feels like a very connecting moment. I love it. I love it. I love my friends. Let's move on. And this is Fictions by Jorge Luis Borges. I don't know. But these are short stories, and my friend bought it because apparently this author is known for being a great storyteller, and I believe she read this book, and I think she actually really liked it. Did she read this book? Oh yeah, she did. I finally see an annotation. But yeah, this is going to be one of the books. I actually don't know a lot about this book, but it says that, I'll just read a part of the synopsis. Here too are the philosophical detective stories and the haunting tales of Irish revolutionaries. Gaucho, wow, I don't know what that means. Knife fights and dreams within dreams which proved so influential and yet possible to imitate. This collection was eventually to bring Borges international fame. Over 70 years later, it remains endlessly intriguing. Nice. Sounds nice. And then the other book is All the Lovers in the Night by Mieko Kawakami. And they told me that it's sort of like a typical Japanese book. You know how the Japanese have this very specific style of writing. And it's about a proofreader and her relationship with her boyfriend. It just says with a man, actually. With a man, and And it says, as Fuyuko starts to see the world in a different light, painful memories from her past begin to resurface. Pulsing and poetic, modern and shocking. This is an unforgettable novel from Japan's most exciting writer. I know nothing about this book, but we'll see. Oh, this one. All the Bright Places by Jennifer Nivon. So, I started this and I stopped it. Started and stopped, basically, at page 11. This book is for teenagers, and I love reading books where I actually don't have an age limit. I'll read any sort of book. I don't have a problem with it. I even read children's books. But I had a problem with this one. I don't like the way it's written. I don't like the characters. I don't like the style of writing in general. But I didn't want to just give up on it. I decided to just move on to The Sacred Garden instead. And in the very end, if I have the motivation to start it again, I want to give it a second chance. I want to see if I'll like it. But my friend said that she read this as a teenager and she really enjoyed it. Maybe if I also read this as a teenager, I would have loved it as well. Who knows? This is a movie as well, by the way. And the next one is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. And this is actually my friend's favorite book. She speaks highly of this one. But it's kind of a thick book, not gonna lie. It's like 530 something pages. But I'm also very, very, very excited about this one. It's set on Nazi Germany. And I'll just read the synopsis because it's very short. 1939, Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier. Liselle, a 9-year-old girl, is living with a foster family on Hime Street. Her parents have been taken away to a concentration camp. Liselle steals books. This is her story and the story of all the inhabitants of her street when the bombs begin to fall. Wow, this novel is narrated by Death. So yeah, I know that it's going to be a heart-wrenching book, but everyone speaks highly of it, actually. People only say good things about it, and I also think this is also a movie as well. So I'm also excited about this. And then the very last book on the list, they're falling. The very last book on this list is Book of Night by Holly Black. I have never read anything by Holly Black, actually by none of these authors of the books that I just mentioned. I think this is fantasy. Yeah, it's with fantasy. The synopsis is way too long. I'm not going to read it. But so it's set in a different realm, and it has more of a magical setting to it. And it's basically about a girl fighting her demons, okay? That's what she's doing. She's fighting her past and her demons. So yeah, this is the last one. I'm excited. I really want to know how far I'm going to push it, which ones I'm going to like, which ones I'm not going to like. And then, of course, I want to talk to my friend, compare our opinions, see where we can meet eye to eye and where things don't work out. And lastly, I'm just curious as to, I'm not going to force myself to read all of them in a month, because that's not the point of this reading list. I'm just supposed to enjoy the books that I'm reading. I'm mostly just excited to know. So yeah, I mostly want to know how many I'm going to be able to read by the 1st of January. But yeah, I'm really excited about The Secret Garden. I'm going to be reading more of it, and hopefully you'll get the video soon. So thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to see my review of Eileen. Thank you for staying until the end. I really appreciate it. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. I'm active everywhere actually. If you want to talk to me, you can message me anytime you want. We can discuss books, literally anything you want. I love learning new things. I'm open to everything actually. And yeah, follow, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you want. I'm not gonna force you. And thank you so much for watching until the end. I love you and goodbye.